this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to sharpen your images 3 different ways. The first thing you want to do for all 3 of the ways I'm going to demonstrate are to duplicate your topmost layer. So in this case, it would be our camera raw filter layer by dragging it over the new layer button. And then you'd want to rename it with your new intention. You're going to right-click on that layer with it selected and convert to Smart Object. I'll show you the benefits of this in a few minutes, but it's just a good thing to do for all 3 of these methods. Then you're going to start the sharpening processes. The first sharpening tool that I'm going to show you is Smart Sharpen. So you go to Filter, Sharpen, Smart Sharpen. You can play with these other sharpening options, but I'm going to show you my favorite 2 from this menu. So Smart Sharpen gives us this box of options. You can zoom in on your image or out so that you can see more of what's going on and drag it around. You can change the amount of sharpness in the preview box by dragging the slider. You can change the radius, and you can reduce noise, like all those little blurry dots of pixels. You can also do specific edits for shadows and highlights in your overall image with this sharpening tool. So I'm going to reduce my radius, bring up my sharpening a little bit here. I'm aiming to really get this nice definition in the veins of the leaf and the edge right here. When I click OK, my sharpening will apply to my image. And then since this is a smart object, I can actually go back in and re-edit this filter at any point. So you'll see in a second, once this saves, that there will be 2 little drop downs right here, Smart Filter and then Smart Sharpen, and you can double click in that little menu to bring back up those options at any point. Now with this beautiful image by Zoe, I would probably go back in and layer mask this and make the background be the original beautiful bokeh blurriness and make the leaf be this ultra sharp filter that I've just applied. You can see the difference before and after with the sharpening. And you can see what I was talking about with the Smart Sharpen filter. If I want to re-edit these options, I just double click right here and it will pull up my filter again so that I can readjust all of those options. Now I'm going to show you the next sharpening option. I have gone back, but my extra layer is still relabeled for my sharpening layer, and I have already converted it to a Smart Object layer. So the next sharpening layer is Filter. I need to have my layer selected. Filter, Sharpen, Unsharp Mask. Unsharp Mask gives us 3 options. You can change the amount of sharpness, which adds sharpness to your image. You can change the radius of the pixels in the image and make those pixels more or less sharp. You can see the difference. And you can change the threshold. Increasing your threshold makes it less sharp, and leaving your threshold low makes it more sharp. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to hit OK. You can see the changes that were just applied to sharpen this image. This is a little drastic. I would not want to do it this sharp. This is too sharp for this image, but you can see the difference before and after. I have now gone back to the point where I have my layer copied and renamed to sharpening, and it is converted to a smart object, but I have unapplied both of my previous sharpening edits. I'm now going to do the 3rd sharpening edit, which is my favorite, using a high pass filter to create sharpening. For this one, I'm going to, with my layer selected, go to Filter, Other, High Pass, and this only gives you one option, and it turns all of these pixels into a grayscale. You can make it more or less kind of obvious, you can go back and change this later. So you want it at a pretty minimum amount to start with. Click OK. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the blending mode on this layer specifically. So right now my blending mode, which is right here, is on normal. For this option, you want to use overlay, soft light, hard light, or linear light. And you can play with those and see how they would change your picture slightly, depending upon which one looks best to you. Since this is a smart filter, I can go back into my high pass filter and I can drag the slider to make it more or less sharp, depending upon what look I'm going for. Something right around here. So I love that definition of the veins and this strong edge in this photograph and the light shining from behind. Beautiful. Again, with all three of these options, I would go into this layer and I would add a layer mask and then erase the background with my black paintbrush tool to leave the background the same blurry, fuzzy, bokeh, beautiful image that we began with. Thank you.